Good morning, evening, or night, wherever you are. Welcome to WHAM today. Take a deep breath, clear your mind, and let's drift through the whispers of today's world, one quiet thought at a time. As we wrap up Sunday, 3rd August 2025, let's see what stories are unfolding around us. United States. The United States, under President Donald Trump, enacted new tariffs on imports. This move aimed to reduce the U.S. trade deficit, leading to a rise in European stock markets. Though concerns arose about Brussels' concessions in the trade deal, the U.S. Army showcased its long-range hypersonic weapon during Exercise 25 in Australia. The U.S. Space Force is preparing for its 8th X-37B mission. A notable development is the reported return of US nuclear weapons to the UK, the first time since 2008. Joint military exercises have been prominent, including a first-ever joint exercise with Australia in Papua New Guinea. US airmen also formed an expeditionary wing during an exercise in Australia, with C-17 aircraft involved in large-scale war games. Australia has been a hub for military exercises and international collaboration. The U.S. Army's long-range hypersonic weapon was demonstrated during Exercise 25 in Australia. South Artillery and aircraft debuted at Exercise Talisman Sabre in Australia. Australia and the U.S. held their first joint military exercise in Papua New Guinea. Advancing the AUKUS alliance, the UK and Australia signed a treaty to develop a new AUKUS attack boat. Further exercises in Australia included the formation of a US Airmen Expeditionary Wing, with C-17 aircraft participating in large-scale war games. United Kingdom. The United Kingdom has strengthened its defence ties with Australia through a treaty to develop a new AUKUS attack boat. The US has reportedly returned nuclear weapons to the UK for the first time since 2008, marking a significant shift in defense posture. Qatar is poised to provide Germany with 2 million tons of liquefied natural gas beginning in 2026. An EU directive on rights and climate is creating potential obstacles for the agreement due to cost and bureaucratic concerns. Meanwhile, allegations have emerged regarding Qatari gifts to influential individuals. Pete Hegseth is accused of agreeing to accept a plane donation from Qatar. It is also worth noting that Republicans previously thwarted Democratic efforts to stop Donald Trump from receiving a Qatari jet after his presidency. The gifted Qatari jet, potentially slated to replace Air Force C-17s, may require $1 billion on renovations. Preparations are reportedly underway for its possible utilization. Thailand recently witnessed its Royal Thai Air Force deploying Gripen combat aircraft and F-16s in active combat for the first time. This deployment coincided with heightened tensions along the Cambodian border. A skirmish resulted in Thai forces seizing a Cambodian outpost. Thailand also took 18 Cambodian soldiers prisoner, alleging ceasefire violation. The recent combat mission has raised questions regarding future Gripen sales. In a move to bolster regional cooperation, the Commander-in-Chief of the Royal Thai Air Force welcomed his counterpart from Myanmar. The meeting aimed to strengthen military collaboration between Thailand and Myanmar. Russia faces a 10-day deadline to broker a ceasefire in Ukraine, amidst reports of evolving military tactics. The situation in Ukraine remains critical, following a recent Russian air attack on Kyiv that caused 31 deaths, an action widely condemned. Expanding its influence beyond Ukraine, Russia is also pursuing nuclear energy projects in Africa, exemplified by a power plant deal in Niger. Ukraine is seeing increased international backing for ongoing aid initiatives. Tragically, 3 people died in Ukraine amid a recent escalation involving drone strikes exchanged with Russia. Turning to the United Kingdom, Its Royal Navy is currently navigating a period of significant operational difficulties. Adding to the defense landscape, American nuclear weapons have reportedly been redeployed to UK soil. Simultaneously, the UK is grappling with a surge in refugee and migrant crossings, with numbers reaching unprecedented levels by the close of July. Across Africa, French corporations are recalibrating their strategies amid evolving political landscapes. Francophone African leaders are increasingly distancing themselves from France. Turning to France, the nation recently hosted the filming of the American production heads of state in its southern regions. Germany's contribution to NATO includes the deployment of 5 Eurofighters to Romania for enhanced air policing. In addition, Germany is set to provide Ukraine with 2 more Patriot air defense systems. Following a consensus reached with the U.S. turning to New Zealand, an Army combat-ready infantry platoon has been deployed to the Republic of Korea. Japan's Air Force sees the initial deployment of its F-35B stealth jets heading towards the country. Indonesia has solidified its defense capabilities through an agreement with Turkey to acquire 48 Khan fighter jets. U.S. Air Force C-17 Globemasters were seen at Tashkent Airport in Uzbekistan, signaling potential logistical operations in the region. In the Philippines, U.S. airmen were quickly dispatched for disaster relief, with Ospreys also en route to provide essential support following severe storms. The CMSF, presumably a military entity, strengthened alliances through its first European tour. Malaysia is positioning itself as a mediator by preparing to host peace talks aimed at de-escalating tensions between Thailand and Cambodia. Simultaneously, the Indian and Philippine Navies are preparing to conduct their first joint patrol in the South China Sea, underscoring their maritime cooperation. The United Kingdom's potential recognition of a Palestinian state has drawn a reaction from Donald Trump. Furthermore, Trump has suggested he might not attend the G20 summit in South Africa, citing policy differences and heightened tensions. North Korea has voiced strong condemnation against the United States and Japan, alleging that their alliance is evolving into a nuclear coalition. In East Asia, a Chinese J-20 stealth fighter jet reportedly evaded THAAD, Terminal High-Altitude Area Defense Systems, and reached the Tsushima Strait. Cuba has leased farmland to a Vietnamese company, representing the first instance since the 1959 revolution that land expropriated from foreign landowners has been leased back to a foreign entity. And that's a wrap for today's news, because even headlines need a nap. Stay curious, stay kind, and let the noise fade as you find your quiet. Take care, stay awesome, and I'll see you next time on WHAM Today.